one piece together. And this is whoever did this, Lego, this is a malfunction. This book is wrong because it doesn't work. Okay? So suck it.
Welcome to another episode of Building Friendships. I'm your host, John Sosis. And today, she's a comic. She's an actress. She's one of my favorite people. She's the person I was most terrified of when I started here.
Why?
Why? They're going to find out. The one and only Eleanor Kerrigan. And there was no better set than the villain set.
Oh, that's why you gave me the villains, you piece of shit?
Yeah. There was nothing else I saw in the store that I was like, this is Eleanor.
You bought this for this? We could have just talked and built our own relationship. No. We don't have to literally build.
I don't want to talk to you unless we're building Lego.
Okay, fine.
Just open up the book and get started.
No, I'm just going to go by the picture.
Oh, Jesus, do it.
Wait a minute. So
you can flip the pages.
Instructions?
Yes, it could teach you to build them, or you can just build whatever you want. And
when you buy things and it comes with instructions on how to you go through the instructions?
The first time I build something, I go through the instructions, and then if I want to customize it, I'll redo everything.
How about like an air conditioner?
How old are you that we are building air conditioners?
Listen to me, not building, putting it in, installing. Do you ever go through the book for the instructions?
No, I'm a Brooklyn kid. You put it in the fucking window and that's it.
So why would I look at that book?
Because we're not putting it in air conditioner. Okay, go for it. You build whatever your heart wants. So when I first got here, the only podcast that was really in existence was the Comedy Store podcast.
Yes, we did have a podcast.
And I guess at the time I didn't understand the Comedy Store and that there is, I guess you guys saw me as the corporate guy they brought in. For a little bit.
I got so many calls.
From who?
Asking who is this guy? And, what's he coming in to take over?
Oh, shit.
And do you think this is a spy for Peter? Did Peter bring in a spy so that he figure out what we're doing, what's going on in here? And I was like, what is wrong with you people?
That is hilarious.
And I was like, and who cares? I was like, he's just a new guy. It's a new guy. How hard is that?
But you were, I don't want to say you were the mom of the Comedy Store, but I felt like
you can. People call me Mother Hen.
Yeah, you were the one
There's people that hate when they hear that, but don't bother me.
Yeah, but you're like the one person where if you have Eleanor's approval, you're set. In my opinion, that's how it felt. It felt that if Eleanor was on your side because you'll give people shit about being paid regulars, about if you are the gatekeeper for the Comedy Store. That's what it feels like.
More like a historian, not to steal Jeff Scott's historian, but because people would come in and say, oh, I worked here in the early 90s. I should be on that stage. And I'm like, did you know? Because people don't remember that I started in 93.
Well, you start as a server.
Right.
And you were one of the few people to ever...
This is glued on here. Got stuck on there. Can't get it off.
That's not true. They don't use glue for that. But you were a server, and that does not happen. You don't go from server to paid regular that easily.
And the owner, Mitzi Shore, she hated when a waitress turned comic. That was her least favorite thing in the whole wide world. Fine, I'll go to the book, see what happens, because this is ridiculous. One is all the way.
Why did she hate that?
Because 9 times out of 10, because you did stand up for a little bit, so that people watch, especially in a comedy club, they'll watch and they'll go, oh, this is easy. I can do stand up. And you're like, oh, is it? And then they go up and they have 2 good sets. And they just think they own the world. And you're just like, no, bitch.
And they think that's stand-up. They think they're above doing the bar shows.
Right.
And
Right. Oh, I don't do that. And so we had numerous waitresses that felt that way. And they would showcase. And I would just sit in the back of the room and be like, I just lost a waitress. Right.
Oh, no.
And she would get rid of them. She was like, great. That was terrible. Bye. She had no interest. And it was hard because I was like, you got to stop thinking you can just become a comic.
Do you think that's why people chose to be servers here? Like, was that their goal?
If they were already comics, that's different. But I'm talking a waitress that just came in. I had no interest in being a comic ever. I, in fact, was the complete opposite. Because I was here so much, I would see I quickly learned. Like, I was just here to make money for my rent and hopefully to get in a play.
Because that's what you were here for, acting.
Because that's smart to move to LA for plays.
Because they don't have those in Philly.
No, they don't have them in LA, really. That's a New York thing. And I was right next to New York. So it was brutal. So yeah, I got all the ones and now I got nothing. I got nothing built. This is like my career. Is this why you do this? Just so you
feel like I accomplished something. So like what you're saying is exactly. So I made a promise to my boss that I was not here to be a comic. I was strictly here to start this media company, whatever he wants to call it.
Right.
And the first few months after, I call them the bomb squad. It's like the same 5 people. No matter what time of the night they get up, they eat a plate of shit.
Yeah.
And you get that feeling of like, oh, I could have gotten...
And those people live forever.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because they have no
But you
desire.
get that feeling like, oh, I could do better than this person.
So did you get the bug?
No. And that's specifically why I made such a big deal about my retirement set this weekend. I wanted it to be known that I'm not trying to get into stand-up again. I didn't.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. That was fun seeing you do that.
Oh,
I was just telling Danish that I saw, yeah.
Oh.
Because I was supposed to be on after you, but then she put
Oh,
up
yeah, we're on the same show.
That kid that was really funny. I forgot his name too, but I never seen him before and he was really funny.
I don't remember my set. I blacked out.
Oh, I could tell, but I like that. Like you were up there, you were just like, I'm going to read these jokes.
Yeah.
And
I blacked out immediately.
You're like, if they work, they work. If they don't, they don't. Like you were there, but you were... But it was funny. That's what I was saying to Jeff. I go, you can write.
What'd you do?
Everything's fine.
Uh-oh.
I just dropped
Peace down. The
smallest, blackest piece you could think of. It's like a little round.
She's under the table.
Are we grading? Are we getting graded on this?
Nope.
Shit. How long is this podcast? 7 hours? Because
It's 8 hours.
I got 2 pieces together and one of them I already lost.
Do you still like acting?
I do.
So if you had to choose...
I miss it. It's all I wanted to do. I never wanted to be a comic. And in fact, I would... Like, you know, I was saying, like, the girls would... Yeah, that's it. The girls would get... They would say, oh, I could do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like that. I never was like, oh, I can do this. I used to shit on them when they would say, you should be doing stand-up.
Really?
And I'm like, misery loves company. That's why. You're miserable people. You're on the road and you're just miserable.
It really is.
And now you want me to, oh shit. I've realized what I lost. Sorry, princess. I lost one of your eyes. So it's down here. I was wondering why it was colored. It's great to have a shag carpet. Idiot. I'll never find it. All right, she's going to be the one-eyed lady. That's what we're at. But at least I got to understand that part.
And then you end up on the road with the biggest comic possibly of all time.
Well, so that's my second ex-fiance, Andrew.
What'd your first one do?
A booking agent for comics.
Okay.
So it was following me.
Okay.
Andrew and I were together, but then, we were such good friends before we got together.
Yeah.
And then when it wasn't working anymore, we just literally were like, hey, you're good if we break up, right? And then we were both like, cool. And we just like pound it and walk away. So we stayed friends.
Which is...
Rare,
but also like watching you guys in the videos together.
Oh yeah, we fight constantly. We still fight like that. But also I was so close with his kids, you know what I mean? Like, so we just, I don't know, we were definitely better as friends, which is awesome. Because last night he got to open for Guns N' Roses in Jersey and it was amazing.
Oh shit. You weren't there for that.
I'm so mad that I wasn't there, but it was, I mean, he already sent me video. It was so exciting. He's posting it now on his thing, but the whole night I was like, how to go, waiting to hear, because it's such a big deal, and they were good friends. They kind of came up together.
Axl Rose and...
Yeah, and they would hang at Ralph's parking lot, the whole band. He's still really close with Duff, all of them.
Have you opened up for a musician before? Because I hear it's a nightmare.
No, I haven't. But those guys, like Andrew Dice did the Rose Bowl with them.
Okay.
So he's known them a long, long time,
Everyone I've spoken to, it's really a coin toss, but a lot of them, like I know Brewer says it's like brutal. It's like you're going there. Well, because he opened for Metallica.
Metallica.
And it's like they just want to see Metallica. So to get a comic up there to try to make them laugh and they don't seem like a crowd that likes to laugh. That's
why this was like more nostalgic.
Yeah.
Versus like Dice trying to win over. They have pretty much the same
fan base. Yeah.
And he's done it before with them. So that's not new. He did the Rose Bowl, which is 100,000 people.
That's insane.
Yeah, that video is wild.
What
the fuck?
Did you meet Rick Ingraham as a server? Because I've never seen two people that are just like the yin and yang of like the Comedy Store, the way that you two are.
I absolutely adore Rick Ingraham, and
He's the other person I was terrified of, aside from you.
Really? I hired Rick.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Okay.
So, Ricky, do you remember what was that movie? The Shermanator?
American Pie.
Thank you. So I used to call Rick the Shermanator because I thought that's what he looked like. Needless to say, he did not like me at all.
But you had the keys to the castle.
There you go. And so that was our thing. That's the other way. Okay, I see. So I think his name, he was going by Dick because he thought that would be funny.
Oh, no.
And I was like, yeah, you got to let that go.
Oh, no.
And we're going to call you the Shermanator.
Dick Ingram?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
So we switched it to the Shermanator.
Not much better, but...
No, terrible. And then Andrew got a hold of it, Dice. And so the Shermanator's here. I'm going to kill you. I skipped a couple steps, didn't I? So whatever. Rick was looking for a job, and I liked him on stage. I liked this kid. I don't know why.
Yeah.
There's something about him. He just made me laugh immediately. And I was like, I got this.
And this is when he was doing impressions.
I think so. I'll be honest. At that point, I was already blocking out what the comics were doing on stage. Because when you work here as a waitress for a long time, and you start learning the Open Micers Act,
yeah,
you're not only suicidal, but it's pretty horrendous. Like you never want to hear.
Yeah.
Because there was a comic. I mean, I guess I could say who it was. It doesn't matter. He's not going to watch this. Argus Hamilton would do a joke.
The legend.
And he's like, and I'm not shitting on Argus. Argus is funny. He crushes. That's not what I'm talking about. He would be on stage. His jokes were like the same every night.
Yeah.
The only thing he did was he would change the political figure. It was the same fucking joke, right? So I'm like, am I going crazy? Or did he just do the same joke about Bill Clinton and Richard Nixon? Like, I don't even know how you put them together, but okay. Like, it was just weird. And so then he would do all his sobriety, getting sober.
Yeah.
And so he was like, AA in Beverly Hills. And he would do, I hit my bottom. I was in a hot tub surrounded by, it would be either 4, 6, or 8. So literally when he would do the joke, me, my friend Lauren, and this other server, Anna, we would all go like this from our sections. And we would bet on it. And every time, like, and then you just see one of the waitresses go, because we guessed it right. So it was so annoying.
But
we knew every second. We knew every beat of every joke. And this is why, like, me and Rogan connected, was because people would go, hey, on the lineup, like, who's funny? And I'm like, don't ask me. No. And then I would go, all right, if I really like them and I was trying to work a tip, I go, right here, you're going to want to go to the bathroom for a while. For at least a half hour. Walk around the club, see if somebody will give you a tour.
It's so funny.
And I because I was like, it's going to get real bad for you right around here.
Oh, man.
And they would walk and come back, and they'd be like, hey, man, thank you. At first, we thought you were kidding. They were awful. And thank you for being honest with us. And I think Rogan heard me doing it one night to somebody.
Oh, no.
Like at the table. Because I was big on telling them who was good. My friend Lauren, she was big on, like, somebody would say, what do you recommend? And she's like, you want to get fucked up or you just want to get drunk? You want to forget the show or you want to remember where you were? And I was like, that is awful, Lauren. Why? And she would make a fortune. People loved her because of her honesty. She was from Manhattan, Roosevelt Island, right?
Well, I see some of the door guys doing that now when they try to get their tips.
Yeah.
They're pretty funny. Like, they give their whole spiel at the back door for the belly room where they try to get
You have to have a spiel, man.
Yeah. It's respectable to at least make that effort for the money.
So how does that go there? Or it can't go there.
So when you... And this is, I don't know if this is going to be a difficult question or not, but when you see the new crop of comics, like every year there's a names night where a new group of comics get passed, which in reality, as much as you might like a person, that essentially means that's less spots for you guys. How much does that... Like, and you're different than a lot of people. There are a lot of Comedy Store loyalists who only perform at the Comedy Store. You're not one of them. You're all over the place.
Yeah, I love the store, but I am from the school of you should go everywhere.
Yeah,
you should learn you can't, because this is something that used to drive Adam, the old town coordinator, used to drive him batshit crazy, is that, like, people got passed, let's just say 1989, right?
Yeah.
And then they worked for maybe 5-6 years here. And then Mitzi stopped giving them spots. And then they moved or whatever. And then they're like, fuck the store. They don't give me spots in 2010.
Yeah.
Like, bro, what? Nobody knows what the fuck.
It's a weird thing that
then the names night, to get to the names, because that's what the club's for, to grow. Like, I already joke about that I'm on the outs. I'm getting pushed out because there's a whole new group of people coming in, a whole new crew. We're getting to be the elderlies now.
But there was also a big difference in the end game for Mitzi's generation of comics.
Sure.
Where...
They would get TV shows,
exactly.
They would get...
The big thing was late night. Get them on late night. And that's irrelevant now, which is crazy. So I think that's something that doesn't get seen as... Like, the reason there are comics still sticking around is because it's harder to get to that point outside of social media where you're getting the recognition you deserve, because late night was a huge thing. And there, as much... as the internet is a big deal now, back then it was late night and getting your own TV show. Those were like the two goals. Sure. Or getting films like Batman or whatever.
But then, like, that's nice, Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
I always wanted him on the Comedy Store podcast.
Oh, I tried to get him for you guys for the 50th anniversary. People turned it down.
He's literally like one of my favorites, and Dice like worked with him when he was here. So when he got Mr. Mom, that was such a big deal.
So this place did churn out.
Yeah, it was just a different time. But then, I mean, if you think about it, then there's like, I hate to say it, but like the Dane Cooks who took the internet and became a sensation on the internet.
MySpace, baby.
Yeah, but that's his, I mean, like him, love him or hate him, whatever you feel about him. He fucking did that.
Well, that's something
That changed the game.
That's something I had to get used to out here.
Dane Cook?
Dane Cook.
I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah. Well, Dane
hilarious.
Cook to an extent, because I never hated. I used to love Dane Cook. I had his albums. There are different
Part
comics,
of the problem.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was part of the problem, but also what's crazy is like there are comics that you grow up with, and there are comics that you outgrow. You, Rick, and like on the more the more mainstream side, like Louis C.K. is a comic you grow with because he's doing mature content. Dane Cook's audience was not a mature audience.
Right.
So I don't hate him. I look back and I say, oh, if I were to listen to this now, I would want to hang myself in the bathroom.
But also, you grow up. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think I haven't seen him do a lot of stuff recently, but I think his material had to have changed since then.
Oh, of course. And then that's another thing. Like people like that, they change their material. Even Dice, they change their material. Like this guy said to me the other day, he hasn't even done the poems. I go, he just went on. Like hold close with that, you fucking Nervine. Relax. He only does that at the end because you people are crazy.
Isn't that fucking wild though? That
they go nuts, but they won't like. And his new stuff is funnier than, to me, like any of his old stuff. Well, maybe it's just because I'm watching it in real time and it's like, oh my God, it's hilarious. Just how he's talking about this, whatever he's talking about. But
you know what? Dice is probably a good example where if he didn't adjust quickly enough, he would have lost people. His
Legos.
Oh boy.
I hate you.
You love
When
me.
are you leaving again?
Not soon enough.
I know.
Tuesday.
This is stuck.
Do you have a bomb that like stands out worse than anything you've ever been through?
There's been a bunch, and I remember one night I was opening for Dice. We were in Vegas, and it was I tanked hard, and not like they were heckling. It was just like, okay, hurry up, bitch. You know what I mean? Like I'd prefer if they were throwing things at me, because at least I would.
They just wanted you gone.
Something.
They just wanted Dice.
Yeah, and I mean, oh shit! I forgot I had a microphone on. I almost pulled that off. And it was. I was sweating. I probably lost 8 pounds. It felt like, because you're just dripping, and I don't even sweat that much. And I just remember being like, dead. I smelled because I was, when you get nervous and you perspire and it comes out the wrong odor because it's stress. And I was panicked and I was like, I'm getting fired. He will fire me. At the point, he had a residency in Vegas.
Yeah.
So I would drive out there weekly and do these shows with him just to get stronger as a comic. And I was like, I'm fired. I'm done. And I went in the dressing room and I called Dom Herrera. And I was like kind of not crying, but like feeling it.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, Dom, my mom's really bad and I'm probably going to get fired. Like genuinely disturbed that this is the end. And Dom goes, Elle, what are you worried about? You're going to do it so many more times. And I go, what? And he goes, Mom, you stink. I was like, oh my God. But you know when somebody just like jars you out of your fucking head? And I was like, oh my, you motherfucker. Like I was so upset. And then he just like shits on me on top of it. And I was like, oh yeah, I am going to bomb a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay. And I did. I bombed a lot more. Not a million, not every time, but enough.
So when you get stressed out about bombing, is it more about the fact that you're bombing or more about who's watching you bomb?
Of course.
It's more about who's watching.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
I guess a little bit of both.
That's what it was for me.
That specific night was, I'm going to lose this job that I have.
Okay.
I wasn't even making that much money. Dice had a residency. And he was just like, it was like a helping me get my start, but opening in front of a Dice crowd is
not easy.
No. And so they put me up in a hotel, it was it was decent, but it wasn't like, life changing.
No, I mean, they're not going to,
and it was the beginning. It was the beginning. It was, he took me out, I think I guess I could tell that bombing story.
Oh, no.
Because that happened too. Westbury Music Fair?
Yeah.
Okay. So Westbury Music Fair, Long Island, theater in the round, right?
Yeah.
I'm there with Andrew, his rowdy crowd. At this point, we're MySpace people.
Okay.
You know how we do our little things on MySpace? Okay. I mean, on Instagram. So we had a MySpace thing too.
Okay.
We've been doing this a long time. So when people say we're good at it, we should be. We've been doing this kind of shit. Jeff Danish calls it public theater.
It's so fucking funny. He just tortures people.
It's so bad. So we had this thing, but Andrew would write it out and put pictures. And Eleanor said, and Will said, and and I said, and this, and it was all these. So these kids really hooked onto it. It's almost like now with his Instagram thing, where a whole new group of people are showing up and they're younger. And it's like, oh shit, I don't think you know what you signed up for, but come on in, And so it's fun, it's interesting, but we're noticing more like under 30.
Does that bother him at all?
No. No. I mean, if you get an 18-year-old, that's a dad bringing his kid, like, let's go see dice.
Yeah.
Good parenting. Anyway, so we did the MySpace thing, and now we're at Westbury Music Fair in the round. I'm opening. I'm a little nervous, naturally. We're doing we had Don Jameson, maybe, I think, was with us. And maybe Eric McMahon. Andrew called Don Jameson the little boy and Eric McMahon the old man.
Okay, of course he
Same
did.
age. Anyway,
of course he
same
did.
age. Just tortured these people. So everybody gets a nickname, So we're doing the thing. I lost I hate this thing. I don't know why you brought me here.
You're crushing
You're doing it because you want me to have an anxiety attack.
I mean, if we could get that on camera,
I just had that little fucking hole. Sorry. I just had it.
Yeah, I think we're going to lose our LEGO sponsorship.
So we do I'm just going to put these on because it doesn't make sense. So we go to the thing. Those two open, Don and Eric. And during, I think Don said, a fight broke out. There was like a rowdy, weird crowd.
Yeah.
And they were insane, yelling already, even when they were on, yelling for dice, yelling for, whatever. So they take an intermission. And this is where the fun starts.
Oh, no. They
take an intermission, and then they're like, okay, now you go out. What? So I go out, and I'm, needless to say, a little nervous.
Okay, fair enough.
And before this, Andrew was like, you know what? When you go, and I'm 3 months into comedy. 3. And he took me to 2 places on the West Coast. They were great. And they knew me from, we also had a show on VH1 with the public theater kind of thing.
Okay.
It was on VH1. It was called Dice Undisputed or something like that. And so we were already doing that, right? So people knew me from that. So there was a little slight recognition, but not a lot.
Does that get to you when you're 3 months in, where you're like, oh, people are starting to know me? Or did you just...
No. Because I was like, nobody watches VH1. And then, but Dice fans did. And so on the West Coast, they loved us. By the time we got to New York, the show was canceled. And they were like, who the fuck is this bitch? So Don and Eric go out. They do their thing. Awful shit happens. Dumb shit. Andrew was like, you got to start dressing like, show them your attitude, wear like short shorts and high boots. I'm like, wait, what? And so I just listened to him, but I don't know why. When you just do something because you're like, he has to know. He wouldn't be fucking with me, would he? And so, and he wasn't, but it just wasn't, going well for me. And so I'm so distracted. I hate this thing. I'm gonna stop doing it for a second. So we go. I wore short shorts, high boots, a cute little black top, and a little half bra.
Okay.
And so I go out on stage. Never even been to Long Island, let alone worked in Long Island at this point. I'm maybe I did go to Long Island with Andrew at one point, but I don't remember it. And so I'm on the stage, and it's in the round, and I walk out. I say I'm from Philly. As soon as I say I'm from Philly, they're boo. Oh no. Fuck the Eagles. Fuck the Philly. Like insane. And I'm like, the fuck? So I just start like, throwing lines out there. Somebody goes, "Where's Dice?" I'm like, "He's up my ass. You want to tickle his feet?" Like I was being a dick. I was being like mean, Eleanor mean, if you will. And then this makes no sense. No sense. So I quit. This is worse than the story I'm about to tell you. So I go on stage. I'm in my cute little fucking outfit, right? My sister drove all the way up from South Philly, 2 hours, whatever it is. Long Island's a little further out, so probably 2.5 hours. She gets in, she's all excited. I go on stage. I'm fighting. Where's Dice? Up my ass. You want to tickle his feet. I try to do my material. The 8 minutes that I had, I'm trying to do it while people are just hurling insults at me, right? And I'm shutting people down with a couple lines here and there, but the booing is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. At this point, I'm sweating so much that my bra slid down, and it's on my stomach. Now I have tumors on my stomach, my little cute half bra, and my little cute outfit that shows my tough attitude. And I'm losing it. I'm like, I'm going to fucking kill somebody. And
wait, where were you performing again?
Westbury Music Fair.
Okay, yeah.
And I locked eyes with my sister because they gave her good seats. She was right up front. Yeah. And she looked at me like this. What do you want to do? Want to fight this whole fucking room? I saw her arms up like this, and I was like, she looks like she's going to start in that section, so I should probably go this way. It was her face was tremendous. And it made me kind of smile. Yeah. Just seeing her. And then I got off, and Andrew was like, "Fuck them. I'm not going out there. They can't do that to you." And I'm like, Andrew, they want you. They don't care about
They'll
me.
murder you. If he didn't go out there.
Oh, yeah. I'd be hung from the theater in the round. And I go, you have to go out there. So he went out and had one of the best sets ever because he was so fucking mad. Oh. He absolutely annihilated, right? And so afterwards on MySpace, he wrote, it's tough opening for me. If you guys were at Westbury Music Fair, you can see how tough it is for Eleanor and James. And I was like, why? I knew. Why would you put that on there? I go, take it down. He goes, no, I'm building you up. What? I was so mad.
Building you up.
I was so fucking mad.
But isn't it bizarre that like that's also in a weird way that's how Bill Burr was made because of that Philly clip?
Yeah, but Bill Burr was,
he did what you wanted.
I'll never compare myself to Bill Burr.
No, but what you wanted to do physically, he wanted to do
15 years in or
something
insane when they did that, and I loved what he did.
Of course, and that's what I'm saying. Like if you were more than 3 months in, that would have been your viral clip right there. Maybe. Because you wouldn't have, your first thought wouldn't have been, I'm gonna fuck these people up. It would have been just shitting on everything they loved, which is what, if you haven't seen the Bill Burr clip, I think it was on the Virus tour.
It was.
Oh my God. That was a lot of people's first introductions to Bill Burr. Just him shitting on Philadelphia for booing everybody that came out before and after him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I've gotten every single piece to go where it's supposed to go on every page.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Except for this fucking piece. And now I lost another black piece in the rug. Oh well.
I'm going to save you from this hell. We're going to wrap up. One last question. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
Doing Legos.
Okay, that seems to be a common answer.
If I could what was the question?
If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
Oh my God, so many things. But if I think about like stand-up wise,
Yeah.
I wish I would have started earlier.
Really?
Sure.
Can I ask how old you were when you started?
34? 5?
Okay, that's not...
That's late.
It's late.
I was here for 12 years.
Yeah, but it's not...
I was here for 12, left for a year and a half and came back.
Okay, I guess it's late if you want to have the success by the time.
No, just to the growth of like, you know,
Here's
I was
why
here all that time.
But here's what
trying to get a play in a town that doesn't do plays, movies, TV. Nothing was working. Everybody was saying you should be on stage, and I just ignored them.
But the thing that like I would be a better stand-up starting now than I was when I did it back in my 20s because you have to have life experience. And that's why I don't think there's
even when I was 20, I was going on 52. Like, I mean, I was an old lady as a kid. We grew up faster. I grew up different.
Yeah, well, you have a lot of your material for the special that's coming out eventually.
I can't wait. It looks good. It looks
I'm
so
excited.
good.
I was so happy I got to be a part of that before I left.
Amazing. Yeah, you and Lexi. Without you and Lexi,
it was
to be
Lexi.
quite honest.
It was mostly Lexi.
And Emily too, though. Emily, she was keeping me calm in the back. I was having a little bit of a breakdown.
Were you really?
Yeah,
I tried not to go back there.
Yeah, you were good staying away, but you were keeping everything going out in the room, and then Lexi too, but Lexi was just like, somebody would say, hey, and she'd go, let's go out there and talk. You know, She didn't put it in my face. And then Emily was like, what can I do for you? And I was like, my niece needs keys to get in. And because my niece was in town and she was filming something.
Yeah.
But where she was filming, they went right from the airport to film.
Oh.
And she didn't have keys to my apartment. So I was like, bitch.
Yeah, it was a chaos. Here's how I know that as much as you're the tough chick of the store, the amount of people that came out to support you that night
was awesome.
Everybody
Unbelievable.
Rick Ingram doesn't leave the house unless he has a spot.
Nope.
He was hanging out all night.
Jeff Danish, Ryan O'Neill,
Ryan, like your whole crew, and
Mike Black.
The staff came out, like
the whole staff being there too.
Everybody was excited
because as an ex-waitress.
Yeah.
There was a John Caponera, terrific comic, got a show, and he was filming, his pilot.
Yeah.
And the whole staff, because he was just that kind of like everyone loved him.
Yeah.
So they were like, we were all like, we're going, and the manager at the time was like, if you take off to go see John, you're fired.
Really.
And we all took off.
Good. I mean, and that's one thing I'm going to miss
about this. He didn't have any power. We were like, bro, yeah, you're just a manager. Yeah. Nobody listens to you.
Good luck replacing all of us.
Yeah, it was glorious. And I have a feeling like even if he would have told Mitzi, she would have been like, oh, it's Caponera though. Like she would have just been on our side. Right.
How you doing?
No, it's awful.
All right. Well, luckily we're wrapping it up. Eleanor Kerrigan, my favorite person.
This is what I got. One piece together. And this is whoever did this, Lego. This is a malfunction. This book is wrong because it doesn't work. Okay? So suck it.
Eleanor, where can they find you?
Up my ass. I don't know. Facebook. Twitter.
EJ Kerrigan.
EJ Kerrigan. Instagram. TikTok.
You're on TikTok now? You doing the dances?
I've been doing TikTok.
You're doing the dances?
Didn't do TikTok.
Follow me at Say It Ain't Sosis. Follow Building Friendship Series on Instagram. Eleanor, you've been super good to me since I've been here, and I love you so much. And you're one of my favorite people.
I love you. Thank you so much.
And hopefully I'll see you after I get banned from this place in a week.
You're not going to get banned. Don't do that.
Oh, I will. And we'll be back with another episode.